The third shot drop is one of the most essential shots in pickleball, but it's also one of the most frustrating and difficult to hit. If you've ever been frustrated by this shot, you're not alone. But you should also know that if you can dink, you can hit the third shot drop. Today, we're going to look at this shot. We're going to take it step by step, and I'm going to share some practical tips with you to implement right away and to compete at a higher level. Let's get into it. Welcome to High Five Pickleball, where we help you improve your game so you can maximize your time on the court. My name is Adam Richards, and today we're looking at the third shot drop. What is the third shot drop? This shot is a soft drop shot hit further away from the net that lands in your opponent's kitchen. This is the third shot hitting a point, hence the name third shot drop. Why is the third shot drop so important? This shot is important because it neutralizes your opponent and it gives you time to move from the baseline to the kitchen. That is the goal of this shot. When this shot is hit effectively, your opponent can't attack the ball and hit it down at you with pace. All right, before we get into number one, the first thing you should know is if you're just starting out with this shot, don't start at the baseline. Start at the kitchen with dinks because it's much easier to dink and back up a few steps until you're comfortable hitting this shot from further away. Also, today we're looking primarily at the forehand of this shot and focusing on what you can do to hit a third shot drop consistently. The very first step for hitting the third shot drop is getting into position. This means your feet are in position before you swing, your knees are bent, and your head and shoulders are slightly forward. You could also lead with your non dominant foot, and you should feel some of your weight shifting forward. This can help you from standing back on your heels. Some things you want to avoid: don't lean back or step back when hitting this shot. When you do this, you lose control, consistency, and balance. Also, if you hear your footsteps when you're hitting the third shot drop, that's a sign you're running through the ball. If that becomes a habit, try using a split step to get your feet into position so that you can effectively hit the third shot drop. Remember, the focus here is to hit a consistent drop that neutralizes your opponent and gives you time to get to the kitchen. The second step for hitting the third shot drop is you want to hit the ball out front from low to high. Now that you're in position, you're focused on the ball and you should see it bounce in front of you. You want to hit it either at its peak or as it slowly descends. When you swing, you want to swing from low to high in the same way you would with a dink. There's no big backswing, but a slow, smooth, relaxed push or brush with your paddle. If you've ever played cornhole, you can think of it like a cornhole toss. In fact, it's a good idea to just try tossing the ball like a cornhole bag over the net to get a feel for the mechanics of the shot. In a game, it's better to hit the third shot drop higher rather than hitting it into the net. By hitting it high, you at least keep it in play. Also, it's important to know that your first drop in a point won't always be the shot that neutralizes your opponent. Sometimes you have to wait until your fifth, seventh, or ninth before you can get to the kitchen. The third step in hitting a third shot drop is adjusting your grip pressure. The third shot drop is essentially a long dink, so your grip pressure should be the same as that. On a scale from 0 to 10, with 0 being very loose and 10 being very tight, your grip pressure should be around 3 to 4 when you're hitting the drop shot. If you'd like to learn more about grip pressure and how to get a feel for it, check out the deep dive video I did on mechanics. I'll include the link in the description. Step 4. The third shot drop should apex on your side of the court and begin descending before it crosses the net. When you're just starting out with this shot and practicing, don't worry if the ball is higher than normal over the net. As long as it hits the apex, descends on your side, and lands in your opponent's kitchen, you can adjust the height of the shot later by fine tuning your stance, grip, or your swing. Also, there's an important thing to point out here. As the ball travels over the net, you should be watching your shot and your opponent and either transitioning to the kitchen or preparing for a fifth shot. Keep a close eye on your shot and watch your opponent. Are they going to attack down at the ball, or was your shot effective and did you neutralize your opponent? Don't rush the kitchen if your third shot is attackable. Now that you've got the mechanics down and you have some consistency with your shot, it's important to focus on hitting intentional drops. One way you can be intentional is with placement. A few areas in the kitchen you can aim for are the corners of the kitchen. This will make your opponent shift to return the ball. You can aim for your opponent's backhand. You can aim for the middle. This forces your opponents to decide who will return it. And you could also drop it to the person in motion if he or she is still transitioning from the baseline. Another great way to be intentional with your drops is to make them unattackable. An unattackable drop is a shot that your opponent can't hit down on with pace back to your side of the court. They can try and attack your shot, but if it's unattackable, the ball will go into the net or go out. So that's it. Those are the 5 essential steps for hitting an effective third shot drop. If you'd like to improve beyond the third shot drop and become a better pickleball player, I'd love for you to check out the Path to Better Pickleball. This is a free 30-day challenge designed to help you improve at 10 essential skills every player needs to know. After signing up, you get a downloadable skills guide with practical challenges and videos sent straight to your inbox every few days. Just click the link in the description. All right, let's go play some pickleball.